A long time ago in ancient times, a group of early humans was hiding in the grass, hunting. They wanted to catch a massive animal, a creature like an elephant called a mammoth. Compared to it, humans looked as small as ants. If someone got too close by mistake, the mammoth could crush them under its feet. But to protect their tribe, they had to take that risk. Suddenly, one man stood up and shouted loudly. Startled by the noise, the mammoths ran away, and their leader took the entire herd with him. The hunters chased them with spears, even though they knew they couldn't outrun or defeat them in strength. But humans had one great advantage. They knew how to use tools. They cleverly drove the mammoths into a narrow mountain path, where others from the tribe were already waiting with a giant net. As soon as the last mammoth entered the path, they dropped the massive trap. That mammoth was their real target. Everyone ran to attack, but the mammoth was huge and powerful. Even while trapped, it thrashed violently. The ropes started snapping from its strength. The tribesmen tried to hold it down, but it was too strong. One man's hand got stuck in the net, and he was dragged up with the mammoth. The mammoth, now furious, tried to crush him, but the man escaped just in time. He picked up a spear from the ground, but it was stuck under a rock. As the mammoth charged at him, the man stepped back and accidentally drove the spear into its body. The mammoth died, and that man became the bravest warrior of the tribe. He was soon to marry the most beautiful girl in the tribe. Everyone celebrated with joy, but the happiness lasted only one night. The night raid and the journey begins. At night, the tribe's priest woke up. He stepped outside and saw snow falling. Suddenly, some men on horses arrived and captured all the young men and the beautiful girl the hero was supposed to marry. The tribe chief stopped the brave man from going after them. He could do nothing. He just stood and watched. Only 3 young men were left in the tribe. They set out to rescue their people. On the way, the brave man and a tiger fell into a pit. A heavy log had fallen on the tiger. At first, the man wanted to kill it, but then he felt pity. He removed the log, the tiger sniffed him, and calmly walked away. Later, the man reunited with his companions. They encountered another tribe, smarter and more advanced, with farming, tools, and food. The hungry men immediately started eating. Suddenly, the tribe members returned and surrounded them. Just then, the same tiger appeared again. The people backed away in fear. The tiger walked straight to the man who had saved it. That tribe had an old legend. If someone could talk to a tiger, he would lead people to a new future. Though the man didn't understand how, he needed their help, so the tribes united and formed a team. The next morning, even more tribes joined. The slaves, the false god, and the rebellion. When they finally reached the enemy's land, the captives had already been taken away by boat. The boat was huge, with 2 red sails. People thought it was some kind of bird that flew on water, but they didn't fear it because they didn't understand it. Instead of following the boat, they crossed the desert. Further ahead, they found human and mammoth bones. When they looked up, they were shocked. Slaves were building a pyramid with golden tips. If a slave touched anything, he was harshly punished. Even talking to women was forbidden. The mammoth's tusks were cut, and they were forced to pull stones. No one dared to rebel because there was a man everyone called God. He never showed himself, but was believed to have magical powers. When the work slowed down, he threw a slave from a great height. At night, the brave man sneaked into the slave quarters and found a dying man. The man said, "Only someone chosen by the real God can defeat this false one." People began to believe this brave man was the chosen one, but he said, "I don't want any of this. I just want to free everyone." Little did he know his fiancée had been captured by one of the slave masters. Just as something terrible was about to happen to her, the false god found out and ordered both of them to be executed. To him, the slaves were just his property. But by then, the brave man had already started a rebellion. He freed the mammoths, who became wild again and destroyed everything in their path. The man led his army to face the false god. He saw his fiancée tied up. The false god said, "Leave, and I will free her." But the man was no longer afraid. He threw a spear that struck the false god directly. The one everyone believed to be a divine being was just a fraud. When he died, the slaves rose up and killed all the oppressors. Everyone returned to their tribes. The man took seeds and began farming. Now they no longer needed to hunt. He lived peacefully with his wife and started a new life.